Good morning, welcome to Thought for the Day. I wonder how you responded to the Prime Minister's announcement yesterday, whether you listened to him in person or heard it on the news or read about it. Were you one of the people who rushed off and booked a holiday? I gather that many of the holiday companies said they had their best day ever yesterday or last night, and as people rushed to book holidays. We actually booked our holiday in this country a couple of weeks ago, mainly because we looked at the situation and thought there's every chance that it is going to be possible to go on holiday this summer in this country. And also a couple of weeks ago we rather wanted to support the businesses who'd been thrown by some of the rather unfortunate comments the various government ministers had made about holiday not booking, and people were saying we need the deposits to survive, so we thought we need to support people by getting a deposit in the hands of in fact it's a charity that runs the holiday we wanted to have. So we booked a couple of weeks ago in faith and thinking, well, if the worst comes to the worst and we don't go, we've supported this charity by the amount of the deposit. And it all made sense. We booked in this country partly because we didn't know really what the situation is going to be about going abroad, but to be honest, we gave up holidays abroad largely several years ago when it became clear that flying just isn't compatible with the response to the climate emergency. So anyway, that's us. So maybe you booked a holiday. Maybe that was your response to the announcement yesterday. Maybe your response was more an emotional one. Boris Johnson talked about things being incomparably better in the summer. And I really think and hope that they will. But I don't want to burst your balloon if that was your response, because actually how are things going to be this summer? Well, they're going to be at best about the same as they were 2 years ago. I don't know what your summer was 2 years ago. Better than that they are now, but incomparably better. Is things going to be so much better that the world's going to be completely different? No, it's just going to be back how it was. What's different? Well, we'll be a couple of years older, maybe a little wiser about a number of different things. We'll understand a lot more about masks than we did then, maybe a lot more about the risk of contagion. Maybe we'll be wiser in some ways. We'd have been through some experiences. But I suspect that the main response that most of you had, certainly mine, was there's a lot more waiting. As I said in the title to this message, 7 more weeks till I can get a haircut. I really don't know how it's going to survive till then. I will certainly have a fairly prophetic look at that point. More waiting for church. I don't see any real basis for restarting meeting together based on that roadmap until Easter at the earliest. So there's several more weeks of doing church online. And it made me think a little bit about Christian waiting, because a Christian attitude to waiting is very different, I think, from what we'd normally think. I don't know what picture pops into your mind when you talk about waiting. I guess the most common one is a queue, a long line, just doing nothing, waiting. The queues we saw on the news last year, queues for the supermarkets, queues for this, queues for the other. Maybe that's your picture of waiting. But waiting for a Christian is a much more positive thing than just standing in a queue doing nothing. Waiting for a Christian, biblical waiting, is living today in the light of the future hope. It's living today confident of the future. Thinking about what sort of person do I want to be? What sort of person do I need to become in order to enjoy the future and be ready for the future that is on its way? The idea of readiness is a big one in the Bible. Jesus keeps saying, be ready, be watchful. Yes, be attentive to what's coming, to the signs, and to let's be people who understand the world, but let's be people who are ready for the future. And let's be people who are ready for the real hope, And the real hope isn't the end of lockdown. It's not life returning to roughly how it was a couple of years ago. The real hope is the return of Jesus Christ, when all sickness, not just COVID, but every disease, all sickness, all crying, all death will finally be banished. And let's use this time, this however many weeks till the haircut or the next time we're able to go for a picnic with our friends, let's use this time to prepare not just for the end of lockdown, but for that amazing hope that we can all have through our Lord Jesus. God bless, and I'll speak to you again in a few days.